Well, hey, welcome to Gold Fever Adventures. I'm Jack Tucker. I am out here in the Arizona desert, and I'm going to be doing me a little bit of dry washing today. We've had lots of rain this last month, so it might be a little bit too damp, but I'm going to see if I can find me a spot and get in. It is a little bit windy out here today. Hopefully this wind ain't going to screw me up. It's only about 9 o'clock in the morning. It'll get a little warm later on this afternoon. Let me walk up here, up and down this wash and see where I want to set up a dry washer, and then I'm going to talk to you about dry washers and give you a couple tips and tricks about these dry washers.
There's gold in them hills and I'm gonna find it. It's a sight to see, you can't believe how the color of gold makes you lose control. Well, there's gold in them hills and I've got...
Of course, and then if I can get me a good run in, I'll take it back to camp and pan it out, and we'll see if we get any gold. We always love to find gold. You don't always find it, but it is sure nice when you do. And the price of gold nowadays, you better start collecting that gold. Now, some people ask where I keep all my gold at. That's a good question. I keep all my gold in the bank. That's right, all my gold is in the bank. What bank do I use? Well, there's another good question. It might be in that bank, or it might be in that bank, or it might be in that bank, or maybe it's in this bank. Whenever I need gold, I just go out to the bank and I make a withdrawal. Hee-haw, withdrawal. Anyways, I got to walk up and down this wash, find me a place to set up at. And I hope this wind ain't going to be a problem. But hey, sure want to thank you guys coming along and sharing on these adventures. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know, it means a lot to me, all my subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much. About getting in right into here, into this bench. And I was just going to dig down in here. There's a lot of gravels in here, which is good. I like all that gravel. But what I'm concerned about, just grab this dirt. Kind of clumps together. It might almost be a little too wet to run. Might almost be too wet to run. We'll have to check that out. Well, I found this wash. It looks like a lot of people have been digging in here. It's nice red dirt. Really red dirt. You got your trumpet plants all over here. These are your trumpets, your Arizona trumpet plants. They like to grow in mineralized soil. A lot of evidence of a lot of tailings up and down through here. A lot of tailings, nice red dirt. So this might be a place I'm going to find me a little spot in between all of these other people's workings and set me up a dry washer right up and through here someplace. Sometimes it can be tricky. This is where you need 3 hands. I'm going to be shoveling into here, so I want to put it probably about there. Okay. This is a Royal. This is a brand new dry washer. Never used it before, so before I use it, something I got to do. I'm going to show you that. What I got to do to this dry washer first. One thing that this particular dry washer does not have, and that is what they call a dead air space. So I have to create a dead air space. Better not lose my little clip there that I like to have. Better put that in my pocket. So, take a Sharpie, and if I can get in here, let's see if I can do this. Draw a line underneath these riffles, the very back. Okay, let's see if that did it. Did on those. Didn't quite do it. Let me do it. These are Hungarian style riffles, these ones that have the extra bend like thing. So they're harder to get up underneath. May need a thinner Sharpie. Okay, that did it. Pull this tray on out here. And you see my marks where I've marked this at here. So you can see where the riffle lies at, right here on these spots. So where these marks are, I want to put tape up to those marks. So I need to flip this over and see how this is going to work here. So put starting points like, let's see, it looks like there's going to be right here. I'm going to put a mark right there, and right there, and right there, all the way where these should be at. Okay, all the way up here. Okay, and then do the same thing on the other side over here too. Put where these marks should be at. Did I get that one? No, I missed that one. Okay, there's all the marks. Then take your masking tape. Masking tape just kind of works the best. This is kind of thick masking tape. I really don't like it this thick, but it'll be okay. And then just lay this down behind up to that point right there. Just like so. Okay. Do that all the way on each one of these here. Some dry washers, they have this built in, or they work it in, or whatever, how they do it when they build them. They create this, what you're doing is creating a dead air space. And what that does is once that gold gets trapped down in there, you don't want it to blow back out. So that's why you're creating a dead air zone. So it'll help in your gold recovery by doing that. Trust me on that one. More should do it. Right there. Okay. Now, you'll see that when the riffles go back down, you've got this dead air space. So it's blocking now. So when the gold gets in there. So then what I also like to do, you notice that it'll be easy to figure out, but you can always just take Sharpie or something, an arrow. So I put an arrows on here. That means that it's going to go in this way. Now you don't have to take this cloth in and out every time you use it, and I'm going to show you that there too. Okay, that's going to help tremendously. Tremendously, that's going to help. Get your truck to get nice and leveled. Now I like to run my box a little flatter. Some people like to run them all the way down to the ground like this here. I don't like to do that. It seems like the material comes off too fast. But if you run them more flatter, the longer this material can stay up here before it works its way down and off, will help that gold settle out. So I like to keep it a little more flatter when I run it. If that masking tape's a little too fat like it is, it might be, just take a razor blade and just cut half of it off. So I'll keep an eye on that, and I may have to cut part of that back. So let me get finished set up here. We'll start to run some material. Seems like these are always in the wrong place. In the wrong place, at the wrong time. Nut drivers work better for doing this, but I like to use a screwdriver, and I'm going to show you why I like the screwdriver. Tighten this back on. Okay, should be about perfect. Right there. I put it in there. You want one long enough to go through your chute in there, but you don't want it long enough where it's going to go all the way and poke into your cloth. And what this kind of works is a little shaker, so if you're shoving material, if it tends to bog up on you, just shake the screwdriver and then it'll help loosen this up. Now, I think this is a little too narrow. I want this lifted up higher, so I'm going to have to lift this up a little higher. That might be a pain in the butt here to do. All of these adjustments should be made in advance, I guess. Get one loosened up. Okay, that went to the second one. Let's see, should I do one more, or is that good enough? Let's try that right there. Let's try that right there, okay. That lifted my box up a little more, so I have to lower that down. Okay. All right, that should be good. Maybe my box needs to be down a little bit more. Okay. All right, whew. Let me fire this motor up now. Hopefully I'll get it. It's been a while since I've used this motor. Take a break. You do have a stop button up here. It does help if you turn that on. Now with this particular dry washer, it's pretty light, so you don't need to put a lot of air up in there. Right now I'm pretty well just past idle. I'm gonna try to run it like that. I do have some gloves here. Should always wear gloves. That seems to be working pretty good right there. Yeah, I like it. It's working good. This chute right here will open and close, but see, when I move that screwdriver, that'll help the material go in and out. Got a little nugget trap right here. Might be almost too big of a lip. Some people don't like these lips, other people do. I'd like to keep pushing the material up on top of the screen. Helps loosen up any of the little pieces like dirt clogs and stuff like that. I got a little bit damper material on this run. Here's a little damp. See how that just clumps together? That's almost too damp to run. Another reason why you like it staying up on that box as long as possible before it exits off. It'll kind of help dry that material as it sits up on that box, working its way down, where it'll free itself of any gold that might be trapped. Now, gold also separates better in water than it does with air. Reason is, see, like the rocks, it's got all this dirt stuck to it. Can't get rid of that with air. Also little dirt clogs that just break apart. Dry washers won't settle that out. So dry washers are not the most efficient way to get gold, but out in the deserts, they're about the best way. And you can run them a lot faster too. When you look at your sluice box, notice the riffles. Is the material going up and over each riffle? Can you see the riffles? If it's just running flat down, you're running it too fast, your chute's open too fast, the motor's running too fast, you should be able to see all your riffles as the material's going up and over each one. Give that gold a chance to settle out. This here is running perfect right now. Okay, to clean out, just idle your motor all the way down. Gold pan works good for this here. Then just lift this here up, your riffle tray, and let all that material go inside your bucket. Take that a few times, just like that. You're good to go. Lower your screen back down. Let me show you the inside of this dry washer. Let me do that. This is why I have that hook for. It didn't come with the hook, so I had to put one on there, but I gotta smash the one end of this down. That way, this hook will help hold that up like that. this particular dry washer has a fan in there. That's just a radial fan. So the air is blowing up and hitting this fan, and it's causing this fan to spin, and that's what's pushing air up into the box. And this also has a counterweight on it. So by having this counterweight, that throws this out of balance, and that's what's causing the shaking action. So it's kind of like the air from the fan is putting everything up in suspension, and then the counterweight is settling out that heavier gold, and as it works its way down, it gets stuck behind these, in front of these riffles. Riffles on a dry washer are opposite that on a sluice box. I'll show you that there. See, your riffles, they're designed, they go the opposite way, so as the heavies come down, they get stuck in front of these riffles, where on a wet system they're flipped around because it eddies as the material comes down with the water, but on a dry washer they're opposite ways. These are a Hungarian style riffle because it's got the extra bend in it. This is just a regular riffle here. And this is dry washer used as a constant air. When we get back in camp, I'll show you one of the other ones that are a puffer style type dry washer. It's all said and done. Got to have your screwdriver, of course, to take your hose back off. I'll just take this here and lift this all the way to the top up here, like so. This is where my S-hook comes in handy at. And I'll bring this all the way up and hook it down on the screen up there. Okay. You can sometimes take your box off and just flip it upside down onto this here and then wrap a bungee cord around it. People do that all the time too. You know, when you're using your motor, I've seen some people, they'll take their motor because they don't want it on the ground, and they'll set it up here on their bucket like this here. What they don't realize is this here gets hot right here, and this will start to melt the bucket. So then they got to melt in their bucket. Some people may carry a big piece of wood with them, like a piece of plywood that's maybe 2 feet by 2 feet, and then they'll set this onto that. Some people actually mount it. They do have feet onto these, so these will sit down. And then when you generally set it up, you can always just take some dirt, throw it up in the air or something, see which way the wind's blowing, and set the motor opposite of the way the wind's blowing. That way the dirt ain't just going to be sucked back into your motor. That's all the concentrates I got to go pan out. Whew, got a quite a good little run in there. So I'll head back to camp, pan this stuff out, and hopefully got us a little bit of color anyways. A lot of people have been digging up and down in this wash, so they're digging in this for a reason. You know, they say gold has been found where gold has been found. Or you find gold where gold has been found. Yeah, that's how it works. Let's go on back to camp. The desert is really an awesome place. That's a Joshua tree right there. You don't want to get stabbed by one of those little thorns. They can hurt. Poke your eyes out. That's known as a yucca plant. They can grow very tall, or they grow a stem that comes out of them, and it grows up kind of tall, puts a flower up on the top of there. That's what they call a greasewood tree. You run over one of them, they'll go through your tire. You try to avoid them when you're out driving around in the desert out here. We got all types of cacti. I don't know what that is called. Some type of a weird cacti. It almost kind of looks like a jumping cactus or a teddy bear, but kind of like that in between. It's kind of weird looking. Got a little rabbit ear cacti. Some people take those little buds off there and they make jellies and jams and stuff like that with those. Desert trumpet plants. This is what they call a barrel cactus right there. They get a little bit bigger than that, but not much bigger. But they can get about 5 times that size, but that's one thing you don't see a lot out here. I don't see any. Your saguaro cactuses. Saguaros, ever how you want to say it. I'm not sure what kind of little flowers or plants these are right here. A few of them around though. Pretty, huh? And I think this one was called Colorado something, if I remembered right. I think that's what that one was called. You don't see many of those out around here though. Okay, this here's a puffer style dry washer. This is an older style though. This has a hand crank on it, so you got a hand crank. Some of the newer ones have hand crank, but they also got a little motor to run on 12 volts that you set up to use that But this is just an older style. It's been around for a long time. But look at these dead air spaces. See, they when they did the riffles here, they flipped this around. They could have made that coming this way, but they put it that way. So this creates this dead air space right there. Nice dead air space. Take this out here. You can see. So see, this has a flap right here. So what happens is this goes up and down, up and down. When it goes down, this flap will come open, and it will fill the box here with air. And then when it goes up, it pushes it up over the tray. And so that's what causes the poof, 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 poof on the way down. This here is just a little air vent, so if you need to let some air in or out, if it's got too much or whatever. So that was kind of a cool idea. This is an older style though. Poof, poof. Okay, I got my panning tub. I got my concentrates right there. I need to get me a pan and a classifier. This bucket to sit on. There's a pan and a classifier. Okay. I'm just going to use, this is a 1/4 inch classifier. I don't want to use a lot of water, so I've got to try to do this. For one little pan. And once I classify this out, there's going to be hardly any material in there at all. Okay. Put that in the sun. If there's any gold in there, once the sun shines on it, it'll light right up. Okay. And then let's pan this out. Nice and red. I'm not using a safety pan because I can always get this back out of the tub. If there's like a lot of gold in there, I can keep it. More tailings than I thought, or more concentrates than I thought. A lot of black sands though, I can see that. And see, it's thicker black sands. It's always a good sign. We'll take that down to about there. And then we're going to take a little sneak peek. I don't see nothing really in there. Okay, let's take a little sneaky peek. Oh, I saw something in there. Oh yeah, see, there's a little bit of gold in there. There's some gold in there. Well, I don't know if that's a whole lot of gold. Nothing really big or chunky, but there is gold in there. There's gold in there. You can be the judge if you think that was worth it or not. But there is gold in there. Let me take this down a little bit and I'll show you it all together once it's cleaned up a little bit better. Once I get it cleaned up a little bit better, let me do that. Well, so there's what it is right there. Not a lot, but it is a little bit of gold. It is gold. It's always good when you get gold. Well, it wasn't a whole lot of gold, but did get a little bit of gold. So that was dry washing. Did get out and do a little bit of dry washing. So hope there was a couple things there then maybe you picked up on some of them tips. But anyways, till our paths cross again, you guys all get out, create your own adventures. Sure appreciate you guys coming along, sharing on my adventures. So you guys all take care. Have a fantastic day. Until we meet again, thanks for watching, everyone.